Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel! Today we have a breaking, historic, and absolutely game-changing update that could completely change the way you view the Iraqi dinar. If you've been following the dinar revaluation story for years, you know the waiting, the rumors, the endless speculation. It's been exhausting. But today, October 27th, 2025, marks a monumental moment in this journey. The official government Gazette has just been released, and for the first time ever, it confirms the Iraqi dinar redemption timeline. This isn't based on leaks, insiders, or social media chatter. This is published, legal, official government information, and it is sending shockwaves through Tier 4B and the private exchange communities worldwide. People who have been holding, watching, and waiting for this confirmation are stunned, exhilarated, and, in many cases, in disbelief. Today's video will break down exactly what the Gazette says, what it means for the revaluation, and why this could be the final countdown before redemptions start. Stay with me because this update changes everything. To start, let's clarify what the Gazette is and why it matters so much. The Gazette is Iraq's official government publication, similar to Federal Register in the United States. It is the platform where all laws, financial regulations, government resolutions, and official decrees are published for public record. In short, when something appears in the Gazette, it is not rumor, it is law, policy, and fact. The October 27 issue has a section specifically addressing Iraq's currency reform, detailing the redenomination and revaluation processes. The language is precise. It states that the central bank has finalized a structured exchange mechanism for domestic and international settlements, and that the phased implementation will occur before the end of the fiscal cycle. In practical terms, this means Iraq has prepared the infrastructure, coordinated with international banking systems, and is now ready to roll out the new currency procedures. For those in Tier 4B and other private holder communities, this is the official green light that the wait is almost over. Now let's talk about what this means for the phased rollout of the currency reform. According to the Gazette, the process is divided into 3 phases, each with a specific function and timeline. Phase 1 is domestic activation. This phase involves Iraq's banks, ministries, and internal payment systems switching over to the new dinar rate. Phase 2 is international synchronization. This is when global banking networks, including Forex and SECUFT systems, begin using the updated exchange rate. Phase 3 is redemption and exchange, the phase Tier 4B holders have been waiting for. It's the point where private holders can finally exchange their dinar at the official rate. What's remarkable is that Phase 1 and Phase 2 are reportedly already in progress. Local banks in Baghdad have been updating their internal systems, employees have been preparing for recalibration, and some ATMs have been temporarily offline for updates. Everything happening now aligns perfectly with the timeline outlined in the Gazette. The excitement in the Tier 4B community cannot be overstated. This is not speculation or rumor, it's written proof from the government itself. Across various private channels and groups, the reaction has ranged from shock to pure adrenaline. People who have been following every update, every leak, and every insider report for years now see validation that the currency reform is real and active. Internal memos, system updates, and back-end changes are all occurring in sync with the Gazette's timeline, giving Tier 4B members confidence that redemptions are approaching rapidly. The fact that Iraq's central bank is working in coordination with international institutions signals that the rollout is being synchronized with global financial systems, ensuring a smooth transition. This means that when the redemption phase begins, holders can expect their exchanges to be handled efficiently without major disruptions or delays. The timeline is crucial, and according to internal notes related to the Gazette, the redemption phase could begin any day now. The fiscal quarter ends on November 1st, and the Gazette explicitly mentions implementation before the fiscal close. That places us in a very tight window, literally days away from seeing official exchanges begin. Signs supporting this timeline are already visible. Banks are recalibrating their systems, online banking platforms are pausing certain transactions, and back-end updates for international synchronization are taking place. Payroll adjustments and brief payment delays in Iraq indicate that internal systems are being updated to reflect the new rates. All of these events match the standard procedure that occurs before a currency reform goes live. For holders, this means it is time to prepare but also to remain calm because the system is in place and the official launch is imminent. Let's talk about the new rate and what people are speculating. Based on verified internal economic sources, the projected international rate could fall around 425 USD per 1 Iraqi dinar. Some early calculations suggest the initial market rate might start slightly lower, around 390 USD, before stabilizing at the higher international figure. If this materializes, it would make the Iraqi dinar one of the strongest currencies in the world, surpassing even the Kuwaiti dinar in certain projections tied to oil revenue. Remember, this is not fantasy. Before the 1990 sanctions, the dinar was valued above 20 USD when Iraq had fewer resources and less financial infrastructure. Today, with record oil exports, significant gold reserves, and digital banking modernization, these numbers are realistic. This revaluation represents more than just monetary gain. It signals a restoration of Iraq's financial sovereignty and a global acknowledgement of its economic progress. The Tier 4B community is especially impacted by today's Gazette confirmation. Private investors have been anticipating this moment for years, and the official timeline validates their patience and preparation. Following the Gazette release, translation verification, and screenshots spreading across channels, there was an immediate reaction of relief and disbelief. Many members had doubts until the official documentation themselves, and once verified, the excitement shifted into strategic readiness. Some private exchange centers, particularly in the US, reportedly received internal memos confirming they are prepared to execute redemptions once the system goes live. The synchronization of domestic and international banking updates shows that the process is not only real but also imminent. This coordination ensures a smooth redemption phase with minimal risk of delays, which is exactly what private holders have been waiting for. This update is significant not only for investors but also for Iraq itself. For decades, the country has struggled with inflation, corruption, and a currency that failed to reflect its true economic power. The revaluation and redenomination process addresses these structural weaknesses. It restores trust in the national currency, strengthens the purchasing power of ordinary Iraqis, and stabilizes trade both regionally and globally. This currency reform is more than an investment opportunity, it's a national reset. When the new rate goes live, Iraqis will have confidence in using their own currency at a level that aligns with the country's economic growth. Investors and private holders benefit from a stable and verified redemption process, while the Iraqi economy gains international recognition, improved trade credibility, and renewed confidence from global financial institutions. Let's examine the international dimension of this rollout. The Gazette notes coordination with global financial institutions, which means the reform is integrated with SQIFT, international forex markets, and other regional settlement platforms. The IMF and World Bank have reportedly reviewed Iraq's new exchange model and confirmed that all structural benchmarks for international reintegration have been met. This ensures that when the new rate is visible globally, transactions, cross-border payments, and settlements will proceed without complications. In essence, Iraq has successfully aligned its currency reform with international standards, signaling to investors worldwide that the dinar is now recognized as a stable and legitimate currency. This international approval is critical because it prevents potential market disruptions and guarantees that the redemption phase will be executed under secure, compliant, and officially sanctioned protocols. Practical steps for Tier 4B holders are also clarified in the Gazette. Once the redemption phase begins, banks and authorized senders will receive official memos confirming they can execute exchanges. Holders will be notified to schedule appointments through verified channels, ensuring authenticity and security. Verification procedures will be required, including examination of serial numbers, authentication stamps, and the physical condition of dinar notes. Once verified, The exchange rate will be locked in at the official international value, and funds will be deposited according to account type and banking regulations. Some centers may offer structured payout options, depending on institutional policies. The key takeaway is that holders should not rush or panic. They must wait for verified communication and instructions to avoid scams and unauthorized offers. Preparation and patience are crucial at this stage. Evidence that the system is active is already emerging. Banks recalibrating systems, brief pauses in domestic payroll processing, forex server synchronization, and temporary ATM downtime all indicate that internal infrastructure is being updated to reflect the new rates. These are consistent signs preceding a major currency reform, and they align with the Gazette's published timeline. It demonstrates that the central bank and financial institutions are actively implementing the steps necessary for a smooth transition. For holders, these developments provide confidence that the redemption process is not just theoretical, it is happening in real time. Observing these signs also helps investors anticipate and prepare for the final phase, ensuring readiness when the system officially goes live. Let's discuss the broader impact of this currency reform. Beyond Tier 4B and private investors, this reform strengthens Iraq's position on the international stage. By adopting a revalued dinar, Iraq signals to the world that its economy is stable, its financial systems are modernized, and it is ready for reintegration with global trade partners. This could lead to increased foreign investment, stronger bilateral trade agreements, and improved confidence in Iraqi banking institutions. Essentially, the currency reform is not only about financial gains for holders, but also about restoring Iraq's credibility and economic power. As the new rates stabilize and the redemption phase begins, the ripple effect will impact markets, investors, and the Iraqi population, marking a historic turning point in the country's economic narrative. The Gazette's confirmation also provides clarity on speculation and rumors. Over the years, numerous leaks, screenshots, insider whispers, and social media chatter have dominated the conversation around the dinar. Many investors have been cautious, waiting for verifiable evidence before taking action. Today, the October 27th Gazette eliminates uncertainty. It officially confirms that the currency reform is underway, structured, and legal. This means that all previously circulating speculation now has a concrete reference point, and holders can act with confidence based on official government documentation. For those who have been patient, this is the moment validation finally arrives, a turning point after years of waiting and watching. For holders of physical dinar notes, preparation is key. The Gazette and verification and authentication will be required before exchanges. This includes careful documentation, proper storage, and ensuring that notes are in acceptable condition. Serial numbers and other verification markers will be checked to prevent fraud. Any attempts to shortcut the process or bypass verified channels could result in delays or invalid exchanges. It's important to follow official instructions and avoid unverified sources offering early access. Patience and accuracy will pay off when the redemption phase begins, and holders are encouraged to check their holdings, paperwork, and accounts in preparation. Being proactive but cautious is the safest approach at this critical moment. The reaction among financial and banking communities is already telling. Banks, both domestic and international, are actively testing systems to ensure seamless integration with the new rates. International forex platforms are performing updates and calibrations to reflect the official exchange rate once it is public. Payroll and payment systems are being temporarily adjusted to accommodate the new dinar rate, indicating that operational preparations are in their final stages. All of these movements demonstrate that the process is not theoretical but highly active. The Gazette confirms what these operational changes suggest: that Iraq's currency reform is fully underway and that redemption and exchange are just around the corner. Now let's consider what this means for the broader economy. A stronger revalued dinar stabilizes trade, strengthens purchasing power, and boosts investor confidence. Local businesses, exporters, and government agencies will benefit from predictable exchange rates and improved international credibility. This reform could also enhance Iraq's fiscal stability, reduce inflationary pressures, and attract long-term investment. In other words, the redenomination and revaluation are not just about private holders, they are a national economic reset. Iraq's citizens will have renewed trust in their currency, while investors and financial institutions globally can engage with Iraq in a transparent, verifiable, and compliant financial environment. For Tier 4B holders, timing is everything. The Gazette outlines a clear but tight window for redemption implementation, likely within days of the fiscal quarter ending November 1st. Signals from banks, ongoing recalibrations, and international synchronization all indicate that the countdown is on. The key advice for holders is to remain patient, ensure verification processes are in place, and wait for official instructions. Acting prematurely or following unverified tips could jeopardize the exchange process. Instead, preparation, calmness, and readiness are the most important strategies at this critical stage. With official guidance now published, holders can confidently prepare for the redemption phase, knowing the system is legally and operationally ready. The Gazette also reflects the success of Iraq's financial reforms in recent years. Coordinated planning with global institutions like the IMF and World Bank has ensured that the currency reform meets international standards. Structural benchmarks have been met, including liquidity requirements, monetary stability measures, and operational readiness of domestic banking systems. The international synchronization phase ensures that once the redemption phase begins, private holders worldwide can exchange their dinar smoothly. This level of preparation demonstrates that Iraq has learned from past delays, missteps, and speculation cycles. Today, we are witnessing the tangible result of years of policy, planning, and reform, finally crystallized in the October 27th Gazette. As the final days approach, all eyes will be on banks, redemption centers, and official communications channels. Appointment scheduling for Tier 4B holders, authentication procedures, and structured payouts will be closely monitored. Every procedural step aligns with the Gazette's published instructions, ensuring transparency, legitimacy, and security. This phase represents a culmination of years of patient waiting and careful observation by investors, holders, and financial institutions alike. Once executed, it will mark one of the most anticipated currency transitions in modern financial history. Those who have remained informed, prepared, and cautious are in the best position to benefit when the redemption phase officially opens. In conclusion, the October 27th Gazette confirms what we have all been waiting for. Iraq's currency reform is active, structured, and approaching the redemption phase. Tier 4B and private holders are seeing tangible proof that the wait is almost over. Signs of system recalibration, domestic and international synchronization, and operational readiness all point to a historic reset of the Iraqi economy. This isn't speculation, it's official. The window for redemption is days away, and the international financial community is aligned to support a smooth rollout. For holders, this is a moment to stay calm, organized, and ready. For Iraq, it's a step toward economic sovereignty, credibility, and stability. We are truly witnessing history in the making. Stay tuned, stay informed, and stay prepared. Everything is about to change.